All right, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, I have a Patreon account. Check the link below. You could recommend some movies or music for me to review. But today we're doing something a little bit different. Now, everybody that knows me knows that I love the NBA. Shout out to my boy Kobe coming to kick it with me. You know, had to have him in here today. And today we're going to talk about the James Harden trade. All right, so I'm going to give my analysis of the trade. I'm going to break it down, give out grades, also give my opinion on how things went down, Kyrie Irving situation, and all that, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and let me look at the details because this trade has a lot of pieces in it. All right, so this is the trade. So the full trade is this. The Rockets get Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, Rodions Kurix, 3 Brooklyn first rounders for 2022, 24, and 26, 1 Milwaukee first rounder, unprotected, and 4 Brooklyn first round swaps. So 21, 23, 25, and 27. All right, the Nets get obviously James Harden. The Pacers get Karis LeVert, the second rounder, and the Cavs get Jared Allen, and Torian Price. Though, now I'm gonna keep it a buck here. Looking at all these trades, all these pieces, this is what I would have did if I was Houston. All right. First, I would have wanted Allen, Prince, and LeVert. I mean, Oladipo is cool. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like you're trading James Harden for Oladipo. I mean, and a handful of picks that are probably going to go nowhere because it's Milwaukee and Brooklyn, because Brooklyn's not going to be nowhere near the bottom of the barrel anytime soon. So I think that those picks are going to be late picks, so like 20s, things like that. It's even if the Rockets flip that pick for a higher draft pick, it's not going to be that much better because most teams that end up in the bottom of the barrel are probably trying to get rid of their picks. I mean, they're trying to keep their picks because they're trying to flip it into a player that's worth actually, changing the franchise. Like, you can sit, like, imagine this. The Rockets are bottom of the barrel and a Zion Williams type player comes along and they offer the team all of these draft picks for that Zion Williams. The team isn't going to take it because these are all going to be late first rounders. Why do I want a bunch of late first rounders when I can get a player that can turn around a franchise right now? You get what I'm saying? So I don't think any team is going to really swap a pick for this. Now, can you use these picks in order to bring in maybe a better player, a higher caliber player? Yeah, most definitely. Of course, there's always going to be a player that wants to leave. So these draft picks can be utilized to be trade assets, or you could just actually get the picks and then hopefully the players pan out. But off top, Rockets L, homie, L. Y'all getting bodied in this damn draft pick. In this trade, y'all got bodied, homie. Y'all got bodied. Nets bodied. Y'all got an L too. Y'all got James Harden, but y'all gave up. I mean, we already knew he was going to give up a lot. But, I mean, I digress. What else? Pacers, you get a C or a B. You did okay. Karis LeVert is fine. Kind of injury prone. So trading an injury prone player for another injury prone player isn't really a huge deal. Cavs get an A, bro, because y'all basically got Jared Allen and Torian Prince. The Cavs are really collecting a huge asset of young players. I mean, they've been doing that since LeBron left, but what can we do? They're going to just keep being the Cavs. So look, here's what this is what I would have did. If I was the Rockets, why the fuck would you want Dante Exum? That's beyond me, bro. Dante Exum was supposed to be the man like years ago, and he had a high potential, bro, but he ain't never reached that ceiling. I know he has a nice little chunky sound. I was about to say contract, and he don't even deserve it. Oladipo's cool. You basically did all of this just to get Oladipo, and that's pretty whack, bro. To keep it a buck, that's whack. You really traded James Harden for freaking Victor Oladipo. Like, really sit back and think about that. They had a shot at Ben Simmons, from what I hear. I would have took Ben Simmons all day over this fucking pick. This shit is garbage. Just looking at it, the more I think about it, it's just ugh. Like, you should have, man. And I'm gonna talk about what I think about some other situations in a minute. But yeah, bro, Nets, y'all traded away all your valuable bench players for James Harden. Homie. Because if any of your star players go down, you got KD coming off an injury, right? Who's to say he's not going to get injured? You have Kyrie, who God knows when he's going to come back. My man is on a straight spirit journey. Who knows when the fuck he's coming back? And then you got James Harden, Mr. Dribble the ball out of air. And he's going to play every game. But at the same time, the fact that he forced his way out of Houston and became such a toxic environment to his teammates, who the fuck is to say that he's not going to walk into Brooklyn with the same attitude? You know what I'm saying? So you really have to think about, like, a lot of people really sacrifice their whole team just to bring in a star player. And you really need to think about how it's going to change the locker room dynamics and things like that. So for people talking about, oh, Brooklyn got it in the bag already. Oh, yeah, man, we got a championship already. Bro, you stop it. Oh, Lakers going to give sweat. No, miss me, bro. Because, one, the fact that you got rid of Jared Allen, y'all only have DeAndre Jordan in the middle. DeAndre Jordan is not going to body up AD. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. As far as James Harden and Kyrie Irving, that's if Kyrie even plays, homie. We don't even know if this man ever going to come back. James Harden, I mean, we played against James Harden. We did pretty fucking well. If memory serves me correct, bro, we knocked them out of the playoffs. So fuck out of here with that bullshit. The only person that we really got to worry about is KD. So, I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, I don't think it's me personally. I don't think it's something far-fetched to be like, yo, we can beat Brooklyn, because we can beat Brooklyn. The Lakers, look at this man right here. Look at this man right here. We can beat Brooklyn. There's no problem. Like, y'all really have to think about the dynamics of that roster and how this trade is going to affect the team. It's going to affect that team a lot more than you think. Because now they don't have bench. They don't have a bench. They don't have depth. They literally gave away 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Yeah, they gave away 4 players, dude, for James Harden. And they're 4 essential role players. Freaking Prince was a starter. Karis LeVert was like coming off of like amazing season. So I mean, you know, you have to really look at the dynamics and how these trades are going to change the team. These are heavy hitters, bro, and you got rid of them like that. I mean, of course you're going to be like, oh, well, think about what we getting back. Look, we getting James Harden back. Of course you're getting James Harden back, bro. That's nice. You guys got to really start. Y'all got a star player for that. That's dope. But is this nigga going to play defense though? That's what you really need to think about. Is he going to play defense? But I digress. Again, I'll recap it for you. Rockets L, Nets L, Pacers C, B. I'm gonna give you a C, bro. And then the Cavs get an A, bro, because the Cavs basically came up. I don't even know how they even got in this damn deal, but okay. The Cavs came up, bro. For sure, they came up. But so, I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on the James Harden situation. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of NBA players throwing their weight around in order to get a trade. James Harden and the Houston Rockets have been making playoff runs since he's been in their team, and they've made deep runs. I mean, they made it to the Western Conference, you know? So the Western Conference Finals. You can't get mad because you made it to the Western Conference. I think they made it to the Western Conference Finals twice, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of weird that he's just like, yo, we lost. I'm done. Like, we can't do this no more. I'm out of here, right? Now, I don't know if it's because the team blew up or they started to blow the team up and they trade away Russ. But every year consistently, the Houston Rockets have tried to get better. And they've tried to add pieces to help James Harden. So it's not like they just, like, in all honesty, man, like, they didn't stay stagnant. They didn't sit back and be like, okay, we just going to just run with this team and see what happens. Like, nah, they made moves. They moved Capella. They brought in Westbrook. They brought in Wall. They brought in Cousins. They brought in a lot of players to try to help James Harden get to where he needs to go. And they've always tried to make it work for him. So for him to just be like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm tired of these late round exits. Like, it's kind of, Bro, it's kind of bitch made. I don't like it. I don't like how they're just throwing their weight around. Like, if you didn't want to be on the team, bro, why did you re-sign a contract? That's just my opinion. You should have signed a short-term contract, and I'm about to look up how long his contract is for. I feel like he has a couple more years left, but why didn't you just sign like a 1 or 2 year deal and then be like, yo, look, I'm not staying here next year. You might as well just go ahead and trade me and get something back. I mean, I feel like that's more real than what what these dudes been doing. So yeah, he's on contract until 2023 is his last. Yeah, so he got like he got 3 more seasons under his belt. So that's wild, bro. So that's what I thought. I thought he had 3 more years under his belt, and he does. So you just signed a contract not too long ago, I believe. So it's like, why sign a contract for 4+ years or 4 years and you ain't gonna stay there for 4 years? Why don't you sign a 1 year, 2 year deal and then see where they go from there? Like Paul George signed a 2 year deal, and then now he just re-signed a 4 year deal because he probably figured out that ain't no other team gonna offer this man this amount of money. So he just went ahead and did it. So yeah, bro, like I don't know, like I don't like players throwing around their weight, and we're seeing a lot more of this as time progresses. Like there's a lot of players that are forcing themselves on teams and like demanding trades, and they're like, yo, I'm not gonna play, or I'm not gonna play up to my potential, blah 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 blah, whatever, right? And you could just see it in the games, dude. Harden just lacked that Hardenness, like no homo. He just wasn't the player that he was, like that he was the season before. Like you could just tell he came in kind of chunky, out of shape, just like the way he just seemed like he just wasn't into it. And me for one, I noticed it off top, and you could tell that he just wanted to be out of there. Hell, even Cousins was like, yo, he don't want to be here. So let's see how this works out. Like I said, I'm not a fan of players doing this. I would prefer players to do the Chris Paul route. Hell, James Harden even had Paul, bro. I just thought about that. Anyway, I didn't even mention Chris Paul, dude. He had Chris Paul on this team. That probably, to me, Chris Paul was probably the best fit for James Harden with the Rockets, man. I'm keeping it a buck. That was probably the best fit because Chris Paul had a mid-range jumper. He had an outside jumper. He could kind of do it in and out. He didn't really have to have the ball in his hand to be effective. Westbrook needs the ball. I think Wall, even though they didn't play that long, Wall needs the ball in his hand. A lot of the players that they brought in to help James Harden needed the ball in their hand. I feel like Chris Paul is a floor general, and he made that team a lot better. But that's just me. But I digress. What was I going to say? So I don't like I said, I respect players like Chris Paul who tell their teams like, you know what, man, look, I need to change the scenery. I'm out of here. Like, I'm just trade me to a team and I'll figure it out from there, And I respect that versus a player just like, oh, I just re-signed a contract, but fuck it, I want to be out of here. Like, we lost, so I'm out of here. Well, why did you re-sign a contract? Why don't you just sign a 2-year deal like I stated earlier, But whatever. So moving on to my last subject matter on the NBA is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving recently has been missing in games. And a lot of people are like, yo, what's going on? I think Stephen A. Smith was like, yo, you should retire, blah, 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 whatever, right? In my opinion, I feel that we should hear Kyrie Irving's side of the story. But the only problem with Kyrie is that my man has like kind of a bad history with front offices and franchises. Now, if he never had this history, then I probably would be like, okay, maybe this franchise is tripping. But the fact that he wanted out of the Cavs because he wanted his own team. Okay, cool. You went to the Celtics, right? So you left the Cavs on kind of bad terms and went to the Celtics, kind of forced your hand, got traded. Whatever. I think he got traded. He did get traded, I believe. But anyway, whatever the case may be, I don't even remember. But I know he went to the Celtics. After he went to the Celtics, he was supposed to resign, didn't resign, left them on bad terms. I know that last year that he was with them was like super just like eggshells walking, and it was so much tension, and you heard all the drama within the franchise, right? And then he goes to Brooklyn, literally a year into Brooklyn, and he's already having problems. And for a player that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when I Googled it, they said this man played a whopping 20 games last year with Brooklyn, and there was only 60 games in the season. So that's pretty damn bad. I know he got injured. I think he got injured, but at the same time, when you really take into consideration, uh, I think he got injured, and I think he probably takes some personal time because of the whole situation with Kobe. Uh, Damn, that was crazy. My bad. Come here, Kobe. My bad, bro. I was trying to tap him on the head, but I'm clumsy. So, um, what was I saying? So I think he took some personal time because of the whole situation that happened with Kobe. But he came back this season, and he's supposed to play, dude. Like, you got KD, and y'all supposed to be wrapping it up for a title run, and you MIA for like 5 games. So, like, what's up with that? Now he's saying he's taking some personal time. There's rumors that there was a video that surfaced that he was at his dad's celebrating birthdays unmasked. So that, because of the league protocols, he's going to have to take time off. I think he's going to have to self-quarantine and have to get COVID tested. And that's probably another, 2 weeks out. So his time is just the time that he's not playing is racking up. And regardless of what he says, that this is going to affect the team, because the team's going to be like, well, where the hell you at? I came over here, especially KD. You got another dog on the team, and he's just like, yo, I came here to make a title run, and we're supposed to be over here doing this thing together, and here you are running around and taking time off. You're kicking it in people's a DA's fundraising Zoom meeting and stuff like that. So I can see how this might cause rifts within the franchise and the team. But so there's that rumor that it was that, and maybe he took the time off to be with his family. And I understand that there's a lot of frustration with the NBA. I remember George Hill recently stated his frustration with it. He said, look, man, I don't care. Nobody's going to basically tell me when I can and can't see my family. They're not going to control my life. If they feel like I can't see my family, then maybe we shouldn't be playing, right? So I can understand a lot of these teams are frustrated. I remember hearing about players talking about the mental strain of the bubble and how hard it was because they couldn't really see their family, so on and so forth. So I understand that this can take a toll on you, and then some people just want to probably be around their family and just hang out. Also, the NBA season, as quickly as it ended, is just as quickly as it came back. So it wasn't like you really had time off, But at the same time, you did sign a contract, and you signed a contract, and you're being paid. This is your job. So maybe, I feel like you should be coming every day to compete, and you owe that to not only yourself, but you owe that to your team, and also to be a product of Kobe, and being such an avid fan of Kobe. I would think that Kyrie would be willing to come in every day and compete. Like I said, I don't know the situation, so I'm just going off of hearsay, and these are just my opinions of what's being stated in the media. So if it's true, that's what I think. If it's not, then I'm sorry, I take it back. Also, there's also rumors saying that Kyrie was upset because of the coaching selection, that didn't have a say in the coaching selection, and he's been vocal about that, and it upset him. I don't know how true this is, but at the same time, it's like, come on, bro, you can't. That's a very, very kind of childish and fragile thing to do. You're sitting here complaining because excuse me, you're complaining because you didn't have a say in the coaching selection. I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship you have with the front office. I don't know if you built up that kind of trust. I don't know your situation, and apparently it's not that good if they didn't consult you about it. You get what I'm saying? So maybe if that's the thing, if you don't build up these relationships with somebody, why would you expect to get that kind of treatment? That's like me never talking to my boss or something like that. And then when he takes a couple coworkers out to go eat dinner to celebrate, I don't know, a good work year, I'm like, yo, why didn't you invite me? Bro, you don't even talk to this person at all. So why would he come consult you about these things? If you don't make yourself approachable, people aren't going to approach you, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know the situation with Kyrie and the front office. I don't know if he is really upset about the coaching selection, but at the same time, you are a player. Steve Nash is an amazing point guard, and it's like you can sit under him and learn some and get some kind of tutelage. So it's worth a shot, in my opinion, to at least give Nash the benefit of the doubt. But to be like, as soon as Nash was announced, to be like, man, fuck out of here. I ain't playing for this chump. It's kind of like, I don't know, bro. It's kind of whiny. Like, I feel like you're better than that. And that's just me. But, I don't know if that, like I said, again, it's just hearsay. I don't know if it's true, but that's just what I'm going with. That's my comments on what I've heard. The final reason is because they say that Kyrie's upset because of what transpired at the national capital. And I always stay away from politics and things like that on my channel. But this is, like I said, this is what they're reporting. There's no indication that Kyrie is upset about that. This is just really hearsay and people just trying to connect dots. But I don't see how the two correlate. That's just what I'm saying. I don't know how the two correlate. I don't know how it affects him. I don't see why it should affect him, but that's just me. But like I said, I don't know the situation. That's just what's being reported. I don't even know if that even has any weight behind it. I think it's just really people just speculating. So that's my thoughts on the Brooklyn trade, my thoughts on James Harden and how he forced his way out of Houston, and also my thoughts on Kyrie. My final thoughts is this team going to mesh? I think they can mesh. The problem is that I think that there's going to be a lot of things to mend. One, you have a missing Kyrie Irving. I don't know how involved he is with the team. He doesn't seem very involved, and that's going to ruffle some feathers. Two, Brooklyn has given away a lot of their depth because of this trade. In order to acquire James Harden, you had to give up a lot. And I mean, I'm not even tripping about the draft picks, but you gave up a lot of your depth. So, that's going to be a negative for me. Also, since you gave up, you have James Harden, who is notorious for not playing defense. So there's the possibility that your players are going to get burned. You're going to get extorted on offense because James Harden is now going to become a liability. So those things are on the table now. It's just because you acquire a star player doesn't mean, of course, he's going to boost your offense because James Harden can easily give you another 30. But it's just, how are you going to incorporate him? We always notice that with big threes, somebody always ends up lacking. So somebody always takes a little the back burner. We saw it in Miami. Chris Bosh took it. We saw it in the Cavs. Kevin Love took it. We've seen it on numerous teams, so you can't, unless you find a way to evenly balance three freaking scoring monsters like Irving, Harden, and Durant. I don't really see how this is going to work. And also, how is it going to make the other people on the team feel? It's going to limit by bringing in James Harden to basically essentially replace Joe Harris. You are now going to take, Harden's going to take shots. So they're going to take the shots from somewhere. So whoever's on the team, you're going to take many touches away from a lot of different players in order to give them the Harden. And then also I've noticed that when star players come in, people just kind of like get out of the game. They're just like, they take a step back. They're not as involved. They don't really care, so it's there. I think honestly, this trade could possibly, depending on where it goes, this trade could potentially hurt the team more than it could benefit them. So we shall see. I can't wait to see their first game. But I'm more so curious of their first game with all three of these stars playing in the starting rotation. That's what I'm looking forward to. And so this is Dave from the 80s, and you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. I know I usually talk movies, but I love basketball, so here we are. I am here. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe, comment, what to do, and adios from me and my boy Kobe. Deuces.